Hey, I'm Jordan with Janus, and today I'm gonna run out of gas. But I'm doing that for science, I guess. See, we're coming out with a new Rotopax attachment, which we just got installed on here, but that lends me the ability to see how far I can go on a tank of gas. You know, how many miles can you get on one tank on a Halcyon 250, and then I'll have my backup ready to go, you know, wherever I end up stopping. So let's see how far we can get. And let's make it a fun game. Go down in the comments and make a guess on how far you think we'll be able to make it. So be sure to watch to the end and see how many miles we can get out of this tank. So let's quickly show what the Rotopax is. This is basically an auxiliary fuel tank. This is what Richard used on his cross-country trip on a Halcyon 68 on a 250, and gives you an extra gallon. The standard tank, or I guess the only tank on a Janus Halcyon, and pretty much every Janus motorcycle, is about 2 gallons. So this will give you another gallon, another extra 50% there. So if you are doing a longer adventure, it's just nice to have a little bit extra fuel. You know, we also offer the little MSR fuel mount, which you can get on the side of your bike, but this is a little bit more on it. So if you're doing a bigger adventure, it's just a little more peace of mind. Now, I said, you know, go down in the comments and leave a guess on how far you think we'll make it. I'm gonna make a guess as well. Let's see here. I know on my Phoenix 250, usually I would get about 100 miles before I would start looking to fill up. And I don't remember flipping it over to reserve at that point. So I'm gonna guess we can get about 120, maybe 125. That's my guess. Let me know what your guess is. And you might have noticed this is number 272, so this is a little bit of an older bike. I think this is available for sale on our website. So if you enjoy watching somebody ride this bike and want to buy it yourself, go ahead and pick it up. I'm sorry I put on a few more miles, but at least you'll know how far you can go on a gas tank of this thing. Usually I like to stay on the bike when I fuel up, but since we're doing the can as well, I'll get off here. And I don't know if you'll be able to see. I'll do just a little bit more. It's starting to bubble up. So I think that's about as full as I want to get it. Alright, so now we'll get the Rotopax. Alright, I think we're good on that. So let's strap that back down. Alright, so the other part of this, we'll reset our trip. This is an older model, so it has an older speedo. Alright, and here we go. Let's see how many miles we can get. So my plan, basically, to ride to Lake Michigan and back. And I think by the time we get back into Goshen, that'll be about 120 miles. And this bike only has about 550 miles on it. So pretty low mileage model. The course is just past the break-in and the first service, which whenever we bring a bike back to Janus, we always make sure it's up to date on any necessary service. So get all that out of the way. So with a full tank of gas, I aimed my Halcyon 250 west and took off without a definitive route or really a destination, but I soon found out this test wasn't going to be quite as simple as I thought. What the hell? Does that say 339? What just happened to my trip even? I have definitely not gone 339 miles, and the odometer didn't pop up 300 miles. Might have to go reset. I guess we'll find a gas station. Alright, well this is going to be attempt number 2, because as you can see, we have not gone 342 miles. I'm not sure what happened there. I'll have to go back in the footage and see if I didn't set it right? I don't know. Let's top it off. So let's try this again. I guess we'll go back south. It's a bummer. We had at least, what, 15 miles? I guess I just have to ride more today. Darn. Okay, so I'm not sure I can trust the trip meter because I don't. Well, maybe I didn't set it right. I don't know. But we do still have the odometer. We were at 563. I'll go back and double check that in the footage once we finish. But I might just use the reading from the odometer to see how far we can get. If I have any more issues with the trip meter. Refueled and with a backup plan, I rambled on, zigzagging my way north and west on county roads. Some were picturesque and others felt more like off-road riding than the pavement that covered them. Putting that hardtail suspension to the test. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, unfortunately, I don't know if it was that bad road or whatever, but the trip meter's off again. So, looks like we are relying on the odometer for this. So, we started at 563 on the second fill up. So that's what we're rolling with. Now I knew that the trip meter on this 250 was having some issues, but I had noted the odometer reading at the last fuel stop and had a plan to use that number to calculate my mileage. Yeah, we're at 593, so we're about 30 miles in. So I would have guessed we're at about a quarter of the trip. The ramble continued, and in true ramble fashion, we found some gravel. Pavement ends. Should we keep going? We are now in Three Oaks, if you can hear me over that siren. So we're going to keep going north, up to Sawyer, and pop over by Lake Michigan. 613 miles on the odometer, which means we're about 50 miles in. Alright, so let's go north for a little ways. Alright, we are at about 60 miles. I just got a glimpse of Lake Michigan. Oh yeah, you can see it there. After about 70 miles, I found myself in St. Joseph, Michigan. I knew there was some parking near the lake, so I rambled down and found a slightly shaded spot to take in the view and have a quick snack before turning around and heading back towards Goshen. Had a snack. Drank some water. Now, we'll start heading back home. We're just over 70 miles. Alright, we are at 80 miles. Still on normal fuel, not on reserve yet. Alright, 6:53, so we're at 90 miles. Alright, we're at 98 miles. And we just ran out of fuel. So I just switched it to reserve. It's just the petcock right here. There we go. We're back in business. Okay, so 98 miles, and we're on reserve. So let's see how far we can get on reserve. Admiring the idle on this. This bike idles so well. I don't want to be in traffic on 12 the whole way. So we are going to change lanes once again. Okay, we are at 110 miles now. My guess was 120. What was your guess? We're at 118 miles right now. So it's still going strong. I think we might surpass my guess. We'll see. Alright, I missed it, but we are over 122 miles right now. I need to find a place to get off here. I don't want to be pulling over on the side of this road. The truck's blowing past me at 60. We are approaching 130 miles. Oh, it's starting to sputter. Might be near the end here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think we're reaching the end here. It's lasted a little bit longer than what I thought it would. I hit reserve. Okay, maybe we're okay. Maybe it was just a weird spot in the fuel tank. It is still going. Nope. I think it just died. I think it's official. We are out. So I'm going to roll through here and roll on down into this spot. All right, what's that odometer say? 710. So we made it 147 miles on a tank of gas. Not bad. That's pretty good. All right, now the challenge is, I've never actually used this. Let's get some air out of that. Open this up. Take a look in the tank. That is pretty dry. I don't know if you can see that. There is nothing in there when I move it. There we go. Fuel is flowing in. All right, so there we go. I think I at least got most of it. Don't know if I got every single last drop. Like it did not spill at all, which was really nice. So 147 miles. So it's almost 50 miles on reserve. What's crazy is we almost made it back to that same Meyer gas station. It's pretty crazy. We ran out of gas, what, a mile and a half before it? Right back where this mileage test started. All right, now we know 148 miles. That's what you can get out of a Halcyon 250 tank. Now let's see if you're driving pretty moderate. I would say I was doing between 45 to 55, but mostly right around 50 for most of that. Yeah, it would be interesting if I was doing 55 or 60 the whole way, if that would change very much. But let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And should we do this with another model, a Halcyon 450 or Griffin 450? Let me know. And if you want to watch a little bit more and learn more about the Halcyon 250, watch our detailed test ride video, and also check out Dave's video about why he loves his Halcyon 250 and where he rides it around outside of Los Angeles.